Today, we're going to talk about establishing your written retirement income plan with step one. That chartered retirement course, your CRC, it's going to give you the plan you need to go forward with success. But how are you going to get there? Well, let's talk about it through an illustration. When I was a newlywed, my wife and I, Angie, we rented a home west of the South Hills suburbs of Pittsburgh, out in the dairy country. We love this little home. Had really high ceilings, old wooden windows with those weight pulleys inside. In fact, it was a 2.5 bedroom upstairs. The half bedroom was pretty unusual. But what was great about it was $400 later, we converted that into a walk-in closet for my wife, and she was thrilled with that. So we wanted to keep the home. I talked to a friend of mine, Gary, who was a contractor, and I said, "Hey, Gary, I'd like to buy this house." He said, "Charles, do you have cash to buy the home?" Now, folks, this is 26 years ago. I said, "Come on, Gary, who has cash to buy a house?" He said, "Well, have you been in the basement?" I go, "Yeah." He said, "What happens when it rains? I mean, really rains heavy, like it does in Pittsburgh a lot." I said, "Well, the basement leaks, if that's what you mean. Sometimes you get water on the floor." He goes, "That's what I mean." I go, "Well, why would that prevent me from buying the house?" He said, "There's cracks all over the foundation. There is no bank that will lend you money for that home because as that foundation continues to shift and move, it could destroy the walls and just condemn the home. And you could walk away from your payments in a 30-year mortgage and the bank will say, 'Hey, where did you go?' They're not interested in loaning you any money on that home." Friends, your foundation of your retirement needs to be rock solid, built on concrete and on rock so that it does not waver. So then when you need income, guess what? That foundation of your retirement income plan will not budge. There is no money lost there. There has to be money set aside that you put on top of the rest of your plan, and that is immovable. That is steady. You can count on it. And so that's what you need in any foundation on any home. Nobody looks at it and says, "Wow, that's a beautiful foundation." But that is the basis where you build everything else up. And that is essential not to move. And this is why if you had money and it's falling, and then you start to take money for income, you will drill it down so low that it can never get up again to where it was before or where it needs to go with inflation. And so it's essential that you establish that rock solid, that concrete foundational income to your CRC, to your chartered retirement course, your written plan. I'd illustrate it like this. While working, if your TSP fluctuates, or your 401k for that matter, does your paycheck go up and down according to the performance of the stock market? Heavens no. So should it do that in retirement? Should your paycheck fluctuate up and down? Do you want to tell your spouse, we can't go out this week. Taco Tuesday, forget it. And you can forget about that dinner this weekend. And going to see the kids, no. It's rice and beans from here on out. Mac and cheese until we recover from this horrible market upset. No, that's not what you want to happen. But that is sometimes what happens to folks when they leave all their money at risk and they need that retirement savings for income. So I know this, you will really enjoy our next piece where we talk about establishing how much monthly income you're going to need in retirement. So stay tuned. It's coming right up.